everyone, and welcome back to Alpine Intel's The Savvy Adjuster podcast. Here we talk about insurance related topics important to insurance professionals with the experts who know them best. I'm your host, Alpine Intel Sales Operations Manager Chris Nichols, and I am thrilled to be joined again by Alpine Intel Executive Vice President of Specialty Assessments, Paul Whitmore, and Alpine Intel Strategic Sales Development Manager Chris Tomlinson. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Good to be back.
Good to be back. Thanks for having us.
So we always like to let people know Alpine Intel, if you're unfamiliar with us, we are dedicated to helping our clients, whether they handle property, auto, liability, even workers' comp insurance claims. And like each of the brands in our suite of service, StrikeCheck is known for conducting expert, specialized, and accurate assessments of electrical equipment of all types that may be impacted by any peril. If you're with us for the longer episode and joined us last time, we touched on some of those causes of loss, but I think it's important to retouch on those today. So I'm going to spend the next couple minutes going on a deeper dive into all the different perils that impact electronics and specialty equipment. So Paul, Chris, we hear so often that lightning is a big driver of electronic claims, but sometimes that's not the case. So, Chris, I would love to hear about what types of causes of loss the StrikeCheck team also looks at when evaluating the nearly 400 different types of electrical equipment that they look at.
Yeah, great question, Chris. Thanks for sending that over. So I think interestingly right now, actually, you say lightning and surge, it's typically what people think of when they think of StrikeCheck, right? But we do so much more than that. Water damage is actually the number one cause of loss that we're looking at this month specifically. We're seeing lots of water claims to things like electronics and appliances. The electrical system of a property can be damaged by water, the electrical panels, outlets, wiring, things of that nature. So water can impact many types of equipment that we look at StrikeCheck. We also look at things on the outside, like we talked about in the longer episode. Things like solar panels can be damaged by hail. There could be an electrical panel that may have been pulled away from the property by wind blowing a tree down or something of that nature. So any and everything peril related we can handle. We handle smoke fire claims to the electrical system. A lot of the California wildfires, we handled a lot of that type of investigations for electronic and electrical equipment. Freezing damages to pools and hot tubs and things of that nature. So any and everything peril related we can handle here at StrikeCheck.
Yeah, no, great examples of all the things, theft, vandalism, right? People don't think about that, but if something is taken, you probably want at least some sort of documentation of that and pricing related for like, kind, and quality items. So you know how to properly adjust that claim. So I think it's also important too, we talked about the causes of loss, which is ultimately what you're looking for, but these on-site inspections can also uncover just general wear and tear, right? Or more importantly, that the items are non-damaged as well. So always important to get a full on-site inspection to determine what can be repaired, what's not, and what is simply just still working, right? So, Paul, I'll go back over to you. So just as often, StrikeCheck receives assignments where maybe the policyholders don't have an idea of why their equipment failed and reported as unknown. So what should adjusters do in that situation, and what should they expect from a vendor like StrikeCheck?
Absolutely, that's a great question. Having been an adjuster for 20 years, I ran across this scenario multiple times where, you have a homeowner who files a claim, and they're not sure what all's not working. They know, maybe some of the, appliances aren't working, some of the electronics aren't working, but they don't know why they're not working. They also don't know what should they do from there. How do they fix it, right? So what you really need to do in those situations is get a full assessment of the damage, right? And that starts with going out and determining like what all is damaged. Do we have damaged? And that's item by item, appliance by appliance. And then also once you establish is there damage, it's okay, well, what caused the damage, right? Are we looking at surge? Or are we looking at high voltage surge? Are we looking at lightning damage? Are we looking at water? Do we even have damage? And then from there, it's what's the proper scope of repairs to get it back to pre-loss condition, right? And you have to go, again, item by item, determine here's the appropriate action that needs to take place to get it back to the pre-loss condition. And then the final part, which everybody wants to know is, okay, now that we've established that it is damaged, we know it caused the damage, and we know the proper scope, it's, well, how much is that going to cost, right? And that's the finality of it that ties into where you have a full story of what happened out at the house.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, really appreciate you guys joining for this shorter form episode. Really, just to again shine a light on all the perils that Strike Check can look at. It's I think we're all human, and if we hear a clap of thunder and a flash of lightning outside of our house, and then something goes down, we assume it's that, but sometimes it's not, and that's why it's important to get an assessment partner like Strike Check out to determine what actually went wrong. So great insights as always, gentlemen. Really appreciate the both of you for joining us today. Major lightning, of course, it gets a lot of attention, but the reality is that the Strike Check team and really Alpine Intel in general is looking at everything from a very objective perspective to base cause of loss determinations off comprehensive testing, observations, and evidence to give our clients the most accurate information they need. So, if you want to find out more about perils that impact electrical equipment, check out our show notes as well as the adjuster resources library on our website, which, if you don't have that bookmarked, please do. It's alpineintel.com. And as always, make sure to subscribe to the Savvy Adjuster podcast so you never miss an episode. Thanks again for listening today, and we'll see you next time.